This is how we ride. This is how we do.
What do you think's going to happen with the late model scene now that you have kind of walked away from it? It's changed a lot. I mean, it really has. It seems like Lucas Oil has, obviously announced the other day that Davenport's coming back for a full season. They'll probably have a full, slate of guys, but they did the championship chase situation, which isn't really a chase. I keep trying to say that. It sucks that they even named it a chase. It really, I mean, when you look at it, it's a season-long tournament thing. It's not really a chase like a couple races and we find a winner.
Right.
But they did that, and then, it seems like the World of Outlaw late model series, everybody just started jumping in over there. They got Shepard back now. Shepard, of course, going Longhorn on his own cars. Late model world's just kind of mixed up a little bit. XR looks like only 8 or 10 races next year, a couple $100,000 races. No Eldora Million. Obviously, that's sprint cars now. What do you think this late model world's about to do? Is it too scattered out? Is it about to correct itself? Is XR done? Is this their last hurrah with 8 races? What's going on?
Oh, it's definitely changing. I mean, but I feel like it's always since I started there, it's always changing, and especially. I came in right in the middle of where Flow started their deal, XR starts their deal, really mixes things up because, now instead of 2 real big series and 2 choices, now there was 3 or 4 or whatever. Things have been kind of fluid the last few years. I'm excited to see some of the things that are happening with the World of Outlaws. There's some things that they've put in place that we had talked about and really tried to make happen last year. It just didn't, for one reason or another, it just wasn't able to happen. But, there's a lot of things that they're doing this year that we've thought about and tried to make work. And now that they are, and it seems like they're all positive changes. So, that's a good thing. I mean, I think Steve will do a really good job. And there's some positives. There's some, just like I said in the beginning of the conversation, that you got to think outside the box and you can't keep doing the same thing and hope that things just start to change or get better. So some of the changes they made are good. I love the chase thing. I mean, I know it's not technically
it's not a chase,
but
I mean, it's just not.
It's not. But I do think, and I mean, this is another great situation where a lot of the teams and racers don't like it because it's not the way they've always done things.
The good old boys.
I mean, yeah, but I think going into the final race at Eldora and there's 4 guys that have a chance to win a championship, I mean, I think that's awesome. I think for the fans,
I think
for the entertainment value, I think that's great.
Well, and me and McCree talked about it. I mean, it's insane that there's been a race called the Dirt Track World Championship for years. And now it's moving to Eldora, and there will actually be a Dirt Track World Championship decided at the Dirt Track World Championship. Like, that's just insane. That's like the stars aligning, and people are pissed off just because, like you said, they don't want to break tradition. They want to stay misogynistic. No, I'm just playing. But I mean,
yeah, I would love. I mean, I brought up when obviously NASCAR started this whole thing, but like even back when we had WAR, I would mention trying to do something or something similar, just because I think it. Number one, I think if you do it that way, it'll definitely keep some teams involved for the year because they still think they have a chance. Like if we just win a race and we got a chance, or if we just keep to where we're in the top 10, we have a chance to win a championship. So I think that's important for the sport to try and keep everyone. I don't want to hand out participation trophies or anything, but I think it's cool. I think myself and Rick Schwally, I would say we've always got along real well or seen eye to eye about a lot of things, but I will definitely give him props that he had the balls to make that happen and make that change. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think it's cool.
Well, I have no idea why a weekly racetrack is not. If you race weekly, I don't know why you don't have a chase in every class. Why not? I mean, you need weekly fans to come all year long. At the end of the year, football and other sports take off that are popular, and you need a reason for people to keep coming. I don't know why you wouldn't have a chase.
I mean, you could get to July or early August, and if a guy's had a few bad weeks and all of a sudden he's 12th or 15th in points, then there's a chance you lose him. There's a chance he goes and races somewhere else, or he takes a weekend off, or he goes out on the boat with his family, or, I mean, there's a chance you lose that guy. Where if you do something to where keep them halfway in the hunt, you keep them around. And like I said, for entertainment value and for the fans, I think same thing. You got to think outside the box sometimes. This isn't the 80s when, whether it's a sprint car race or a late model race, there's not a lot of other things going on in town on a Saturday night. Like there's a lot of, you're competing against a lot of other things to do nowadays. So, to get fans back involved or excited or get new fans involved, I mean, you've got to do some things different. So I think that's one thing they've done different that I hope it works out well, because I think it'll be exciting.
Well, and I think one thing that hasn't been a cool thing to really say in recent history really is that I'm a World of Outlaws or Lucas Oil Late Model Series champion, in comparison to I won the World 100 or I won the Dream or I won the Eldora Million or one of these marquee events. That's one thing that is really different between the late model world and the sprint car industry, is to say you're this many World Outlaw champion is a big deal in the sprint car industry, where it seems like in the late model industry, event-based championships are more important than a championship in either of the series that have been around, really. I mean, it's an accomplishment, but winning the World 100 sounds like a bigger deal to the late model industry, at least it seems that way, than being a Lucas Oil Late Model Series championship. And I think putting emphasis back on being a champion is also something that I think the Late Model Series need.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I think it goes back to just there's so many options and it's so watered down that, like, if you win a World of Outlaw or a Lucas Oil championship, not that it's not a big deal, because it obviously takes a lot of hard work and a really good season to do, but you run the World 100 where everybody is there, everybody.
You beat everyone in one
from
event.
Outlaws, right? You beat them all, and it's got such history to it that it is a big deal. I mean, I could see where it is looked at as a bigger deal than winning the championship for sure. Where, like the World of Outlaws is they are the top. They are the top of the food chain when it comes to sprint car racing, and you win a championship there, then you beat the best.
All year long.
You beat everybody. Yeah. Yep. So it definitely is different.
This is how we ride. This is how we